state-of-the-art engineering building. It was designed by Marcel Breuer.
Right.
It was extremely controversial because people thought it didn't work with the neoclassical architecture of the rest of this part of the campus. I actually liked it because I think it's a really interesting looking building. Besides state-of-the-art classrooms and research laboratories, there was an engineering library underneath this patio in the back. On the roof was an observation bubble. It was a hermetically sealed bubble that was used by the meteorology students. But if you knew somebody, you can get a key there, and you went in there in the middle of a thunderstorm, and it was a magnificent view over the city of New York watching thunderstorms. The Heights itself is geographically the highest location within the city of New York, so that is a really hard, up there location to watch beautiful weather patterns. The back of it was a giant concrete wall. At one point, some friends of ours put together a light show on the back of Tech 2, which caused a great deal of consternation on the Cross Bronx Expressway, which was able to see it. But again, that's the engineering part, and this was University College.
If you're of a more conservative point of view like I am, Breuer's Tech 2, or what the Bronx Community College calls Meister Hall, is a disaster. It's the brutal style, which you can see. It's huge. That's one thing that it's going for. But if you're of the more conservative point of view, it's a disaster. Breuer paid homage, quote unquote, to Stanford Wyatt by putting in the blonde-colored Roman brick to match the now National Historic Landmark. But I think the real story underneath is that when Stanford Wyatt was killed in 1906, his plans for the entire campus were shelved. So rather than coming out, as happens in history, with what would have been just an unbelievable, all neoclassic campus from the master himself, we got the mishmash. So now it's kind of an architectural destination, right? Because you have the most neoclassic you can possibly get in the New World with, the brutal mid-century style. So it is interesting in that way.
And I liked it because of that architectural visual diversity.
The contrast.
There were lots of interesting places to hang out on campus. And that tree over here has great historical significance.
Oh, Erica.
Oh, yeah, Erica.
Come on.
At one point,
tell us about the tree.
Woman, when she was a young 19-year-old, about 4 years ago.
Erica has a story about the tree.
And,
he has the story about the tree.
And a group of us tied Erica to that tree, and we demanded ransom for her. We demanded that unless people gave us 500 pounds of pistachio nuts, we would not release her. Obviously, at some point, we relented.
Yes, at some point.
And charges weren't pressed?
My sister showed up to pick me up, and they were scared of her.
That's probably what
Probably
happened.
correct.
Probably what happened. Probably what
We
happened.
had fun, actually.
It was fun.
We had fun,
here.
We had a good time. It was.
There was once a festival on this mall here when there was a solar eclipse, and we set up music speakers on the front of the student center, which is right behind here, and we had the Moon Eating the Sun festival. We had all sorts of interesting events in the student center, ranging from Richie Havens was here.
Richie Havens was here.
And so they had musicians playing in here. There were movies in here. There was a very active theater group.
Bette Midler was on campus.
Yeah, even though the building doesn't look like much and isn't, there were, it was
used heavily.
very heavily used, and there were lots and lots of wonderful things going on in there.
Yeah. I was university senator. I had a little office in that building.
Heights Daily News.
Heights Daily News was
The
in
newspaper.
The newspaper.
Daily
Daily
Collegiate
News.
Newspaper.
Heights, that was Heights Daily News. You're going to think about that.
every day.
Before, no computer.